I just felt like a robot. I didn't know what I was doing. I was just doing it without even know what I was doing. I had no idea what sales is. Thank God I got so lucky. Some guy reached out to you because he interviewed you before, and you
Yeah,
were like, "No, I got someone better for the opportunity, which is me." I
yeah.
got on November 2024, and then I hit my first 10K month after 2 months of being on that offer. After that, man, it was just an autopilot. I had 25K for the first time.
We were in Mexico this one time, and he was asking me, "Hey, man, like, I see what you're doing as a closer. Like, how do you think I can do the same?" So to get from that headspace to making 30K plus at a 70, sometimes even 90% close rate, that takes some skill, you know?
I could see the improvements, and I started seeing people reaching out to me, and they were like, "Dude, you're so good. Like, how are you doing this?" The best skill set you can learn in life is sales. There's no doubt about that.
The position you're in right now, a lot of people fucking dream of, like 80, 90% close rates, 30K months consistently. So what if I told you, one of my students, Sal, was just about to actually leave sales. In fact, he wasn't even sure if sales was for him. He was a setter, barely making any money. And over the period of time of me working with him, I turned him from a setter to being one of the best closers in the space from a skills standpoint. The guy's closing at 90% consistently, you know, making well over 30K a month. I'm not sure. I think this month that he's probably hit his highest month ever. And it's purely because of the skill set I've given him and some of the, things that he's learned from adopting my mindsets as well. That's allowed him to make this change, and he's done that in a very, very short period of time, considering that he was a setter at one point. You know what I mean? So stay tuned. This one is one you don't want to miss. This wasn't because he worked harder or he was he was putting in 100 hours a day. No, he simply learned the nuances in sales, which is what I focus on. Because everyone talks about strategy and this and blah 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 blah. There's 100 of other people trying to coach this shit. But what I teach and the systems I've built actually works, actually gets results, actually changes lives. And here's another one you're going to see in this video. So stay tuned. We're going to crack on. Awesome. So guys, we have Mr. Sal. Sal is one of the superstars now. He's really crushing it. We're going to get into his story, what helped, what he changed. Even more importantly, where is he today, So yeah, Sal, give us some context. Like what do you currently do? Like, tell us a bit more
Yeah.
about yourself.
Yeah, well, I'd like to start with a start. Got into sales 2022 as an appointment setter.
Yeah.
I had no idea what sales is, but I just got real attracted to the idea, did that for a bit. Had this small opportunity to work as a closer. And yeah, I had no idea what I was doing. I was getting like the scripts from the companies, but it doesn't I just felt like a robot. I didn't know what I was doing. I was just doing it without even know what I was doing.
Right.
Always get crushed by objections, very low performance.
What offer was this,
And
by the way? Like, was this like the real estate one or like what?
yeah, yeah, I
Okay.
was doing real estate. I got lucky sometimes. I was closing deals, but that's just because they had like really good marketing and the offer was good. But
Yeah.
overall, my skill set was very, very bad. I thought I was doing good, but
That's the funny
I
thing, right? Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, and then they let go of everyone.
Okay.
So I basically had no offer, but then I was like, well, I know my skill set is not good. So even if I get an offer, like it's not, gonna go well. So that's why I reached out to you.
Yeah.
We did coaching about like 17 sessions, I believe.
You
But yeah,
counted. Nice. Yeah.
right off the bat, I could see the improvements, and I started seeing people reaching out to me, and they were like, "Dude, you're so good. Like, how are you doing this?" And the offer I was working on when I was getting coaching from you was very, very like bad. I mean, the price
Yeah.
points were trash. The I guess the offer like itself was not good, and the lead flow was absolutely bad. So
Yeah.
I was closing like 8K pips left and right, but still the lead flows,
It's pretty
but it was
capped,
it was a
right?
trailer for what's about to come,
Mm.
because thank God I got so lucky. Some guy reached out to you because he interviewed you before, and you were
Yeah.
like, "No, I got someone better for the opportunity, which is me."
Yeah.
And then I got on, and it was a trading offer. I
Yeah.
got on November 2024.
Mm.
And then, yeah, man, I started closing deals. I was still kind of getting used to the offer because you have to adjust, what you taught me to the
The
offer.
offer, exactly. Yeah.
And then I hit my first 10K month after 2 months of being on that offer.
Nice.
So after that, man, it was just an autopilot. I don't need to even look at a script. I know how to handle every objection. Crushed my first 20K. I didn't hit 20K. I had 25K for the first time after
Nice.
4 months.
Yeah.
And now I can show you the stats
Yeah,
of what it looked like.
let's take a look, mate.
The
Let's take a look
insane,
and
like the
see.
insanity of this.
Let's take a
I
look and see,
never like
man.
if you were to tell me,
Let's take
I'm
a
gonna
look.
show you
You
right
can share your
now.
screen, by the way. I've given you
Yeah,
permission.
yeah. I'm on 12% commission, by the way. So
Nice. You earned that.
yeah.
Yeah.
So look at this. From the start of the year. I mean, start of the year was a bit slow.
Hmm.
These months I took vacation,
Yeah.
so they don't count. But you can see consistently 55% close rate.
Yeah.
This was the craziest month. 244K cash, 291, and then I
90%
was like,
close rate. Crazy, mate.
yeah. And then
Wow.
look at this to this month.
Yeah.
46 deals. So I closed less deals, but more cash and more rev because we have a new offer that's 12K.
Yeah, we worked on
Um
like pitching that higher price point
yeah,
early
and I was
on.
I was nervous around it too. I was like, should I just stick to the 6K and then show them the 12K? But
Yeah.
then I realized that they always they pick the cheapest option, so I just had more conviction selling the 12K only,
Yeah.
and they just fucking do it.
Yeah.
So if you were to tell me I would reach this
So in commissions, what did you make? What did you take home?
35K.
35 fucking $1,000, mate. You
Yeah.
know? And like,
I-
yeah, man. Yeah, go on.
if you were to tell me I would make that much and generate this much
Mm,
before we start, I would not believe you.
yeah,
I mean, like this would take a closer 3 months to get,
yeah, yeah. That
240. Like that's insane, dude.
Yeah,
So,
bro. Well done, man.
and I got the highest cash collected rev on a daily record on a Friday. Took 6 calls
Yeah,
and 37K cash, 42K rev.
bro.
So I made about 5K commission in total in one day. So.
One day. Let's fucking go,
Yeah.
mate.
In one
Yeah,
week,
yeah.
1 week, 122K cash, 149K. Like,
So
dude, that
12,
it would
30, 40 day
take
weeks.
one or 2 months to get there for a regular closer, but I did it in a
Yeah,
week. So,
exactly. And like, bro, and you can stop sharing. There's so many
yeah.
factors that contributed to this, right? Like, of course, and even like you said in the beginning, if I told you when we first started, and you know what, I'll never forget the conversation we had right in Mexico, where so for anyone listening, Sal was a setter at the time, right? And like Sal had just like a few people had seen like my growth and what I was able to do. And we were in Mexico this one time and he was asking me, hey man, like I see what you're doing as a closer. Like, how do you think I can do the same? I don't know why I'm laughing. It's not like a funny thing. It's just like amazing to like remember
Yeah.
like that was where you were. And he had a lot of just like anybody when it comes to changing, like fear objections or fears. And I helped him. A lot of what I taught him to start to do on his calls is the very first thing I did with him, like helping him overcome his fears, helping him understand, like, okay, the consequence of stuff and all these deep other shit that he knows now. And sold him on being a closer, you know, and that version of Sal back then, which I'm sure a lot of people can resonate with, it's like, how the fuck am I even? Because back then, I think you were only making like 2 grand, maybe 3 grand. Well, you had
Not that
decent
low.
months
I
as a
mean,
setter, I think.
3, 4, 5K.
Okay,
The
yeah,
best setter month was 9K, but I got super lucky with that. But
interesting. Oh yeah, yeah, okay. And but I remember when we started, it had dropped. But
yeah.
you see,
Oh
like,
yeah, we dropped
yeah,
because
you
they changed
dropped,
a lot of things.
and then on that real estate offer, you were doing maybe two, three, I believe.
Three,
I don't
four,
know. Right, three or
three,
four,
four.
right? So to get from that headspace to making 30K plus at a 70, sometimes even 90% close rate, that takes some skill, you know? So really well done, man. And you pushed through. I know there was a lot of challenging times, a lot, you
Yeah.
know, and you took those lessons on board. I guess what I'd love to hear from you is like, what was it like learning from me? Like, what was that process like for you? on the receiving end?
It was there's a couple things, but your style of teaching is just amazing. I just felt like a professional teacher teaching me about math or something like that. I felt like a kid that was being taught, but in a good way. It's
Yeah,
actually like reassuring. You're holding my hand every step of the way. You're answering my questions. You're being straight up with me. You're like, dude, you're a 2 out of 10 in terms of closing, and
yeah.
I can take that. Like I told you to be upfront with me. I'm not gonna get mad because you're telling me 2 out of 10. But that's a good reason for me to improve. There's a lot of room for improvement. So
Mm,
there was a lot of customization towards how I do things. And, every time we talk about new stuff, I'm taking notes. I
yeah.
have like a whole Word document of everything you've taught me. It was a lot of
Wow.
hard work.
Wow.
You remember I was sending you like pictures of me
I know.
reviewing my calls at 2 a.m., 3 a.m.
Yeah,
It paid
bro,
off. It
you
paid off,
put
man.
in the
So,
like honestly, like I was super proud, honestly, to see like where you came and the fact that you stuck in there, because I knew it was hard and like everyone has different journeys, right? And like for you, I mean, the big thing was like just getting on a better offer, and I did say that quite a lot.
yeah.
But there was a lot of resistance, I remember. But hey, you got the right offer eventually, and with all the work and time you put into listening to the calls and practicing and the reps, it's just skill meets opportunity. Skill meets
Yeah.
opportunity, and boom, you're making 30K and the sky's the limit for you, can let me ask you this. So like if you were to look back, like what made you want to reach out to get help from me? Like what was it, if you remember specifically?
I mean, you were sharing your stories on Facebook, how much cash, how you're able to be top one closer, consistently,
Yeah,
your analogies, your calls, your results. So, just gave me confidence because I knew you before that stuff. So I was like, it makes sense
yeah.
logically to reach out because I trust this person and I know how successful they are. So,
Yeah, 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 yeah. And like, yeah, you definitely saw me before I even knew any of that shit. Yeah, I was
yeah. Yeah, no, when did we meet? Like 2022, 2021?
must have been.
Uh,
Yeah.
yeah. When
Crazy,
you had
man.
the,
The
I
PR
think, what was
stuff.
it, the agency?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. PR just ended like a marketing agency, set up another one. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Wow. And like in your journey, do you think there was ever a point where you were like close to giving up? Like, or did you ever have moments like that? Or was there any moments where
I
you're like, no?
No, I don't think so. No. When
No.
when I got coaching from you, I just knew that, this would work. So I had conviction.
Yeah. And what was your mindset around like being consistent with the coaching? Because that's one thing I honestly respect you a lot for, because and that is the reason why you are where you are, is because you kept going. Like a lot of people, when it gets hard and they don't they're it takes them time to learn concepts, they kind of give up. Like what made you keep going?
I wanted it bad, man. I mean,
Mm,
I wanted it bad. I was tired of being broke.
yeah.
So, no matter how many times it took me, I'm always gonna try again. So
Mm,
just conviction. It's like internal, my
drive.
feeling, like
Yeah, yeah, yeah. In a lot of ways, you're pretty similar to me because you just didn't stop. Like you asked, like since coaching you and around that time, like I've helped a lot of, well, a good amount of people. And like I would say you asked the most questions similar to myself. Like when I was learning, like I was just an animal. Like people used to make like jokes because I just wanted to understand everything. That's why, like, my approach, like you said, it's like a maths teacher or whatever. It's because I had to break every small part down, But like, I see that being a key factor behind people growing and achieving big things is because they actually care and take the shit seriously,
yeah.
and ask the hard questions. For you, was there any concepts that stood out the most that made that you feel like, changed the game for you, for anyone listening?
Yeah, the North Star, the cost of inactions, future pace, objection handling, breaking it down into the 4 or 5 objections so they understand that like no matter what, these leads are gonna hit you with the same thing. You just gotta get used to it.
Yeah,
And every time they give me something, I already know how to handle it. So if, of course, it's not gonna work every time, but and odds increase massively. So just having the tools and the weapons to use on every single call with every single lead per se.
yeah. It's like giving you kind of like the matrix of like how to handle stuff. Yeah.
Hmm.
And even I'll say from my perspective, the biggest change I've seen in you is how you carry yourself. because I remember when we first started. I mean, we worked on everything, like literally, like you said, like your whole sales process, but even how you presented yourself, like how did you show up to the calls, like the equipment you have, like
Oh
every
yeah.
your mindsets too, like how are you acting on offers and how do you respond to leadership? Literally every single thing we talked about, because it's all important to be where you want to be. And I feel like a lot of people they neglect even the small stuff. Like, what was your experience going through all those nuances?
Yeah, like if you're talking about how we was showing up to calls on the couch with a weird looking shirt,
Yeah.
um no professional mic.
Yeah.
That lowers your points immediately because it's like we're showing up not serious. So why would I take the call seriously? Yeah, I was also scared of people like giving me objections and not responding the way I
Mm.
want to. Now I don't feel nervous at all. I'm just like, dude, I know how to deal with you. If you don't want to
Yeah.
take my hand, I'm cool. I already not got someone else lined up to close. So the
Exactly.
abundance is one thing,
Abundance
abundance.
mindset. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I remember like, because now you show up to calls with a different energy. Like I even watched one of the closes you had where you helped someone overcome a fear objection or something like that. Just watching that, it's like night and day. Like it's just different level of confidence now. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like what's your if you had to like let's say there was someone watching this who's like wants to whether they're a seller or a closer not making enough money and they just want to change their life just like you because now you're like you said to me before you're buying property and stuff like that like what would you say to someone who has such big goals and they're just like I don't understand how I can live a better life like what advice can you give them?
Whether it's with you or someone else, get coaching. It's as simple as that. Don't try to figure out on your own. Don't waste your time. I know it's going to be an investment, but it's going to be an investment in yourself. I paid you a couple $1,000s, but guess what? In the grand scheme of things, it meant nothing compared to what I made after that.
Yeah.
So it's always a long-term vision and having conviction that if you want to be somewhere, go to someone who's been there where you started and has already reached your goals and just copy what they did and learn from them. As simple as that.
Yeah. And if they have fear, like what would you
Fear is gonna hold you back, man. I had fear before doing closing. I was scared telling you like, oh, hell, well, I'm not guaranteed to come a base pay. How am I gonna do this? I live overseas. You just get the skill set. You just get the skill set. You work in a good offer and you close deals. That's it. If you let fear hold you back, you're not gonna achieve your goals. It's very
It's
logical.
is that exactly right? Like you can't you can't have both inaction and fear and your goals at the same time. You have to choose one. Like if you
Yeah.
want the goals, you kind of know what you have to do. I mean, from your perspective, right? Because there's a lot of coaches out there and people that say they know sales and all this shit. Like, what's the biggest difference you feel like with how I do things and others in the space, and why would you suggest someone to like learn from me so they can also get similar results to yourself as well?
It's a good question. I mean, yeah, there's a lot of sales gurus out there, but most of them are fake, to be honest.
Mhm.
They make 10K for 1 month, and the next thing you know, they're trying to sell their stuff.
Yeah,
But you have consistent stats to back it up. You know the ins and outs of everything in terms of sales. You've experienced it. You work with the most complicated companies like seventh level. They reached out to you. They hired you, for example.
yeah,
I know you didn't like that offer, but that shows that you know what you're talking about,
mm,
and your style of teaching is incredible. So I would recommend anybody to work with you for sure.
amazing, man. And yeah, the future's bright for you, bro. Like you've got the skills now. What's your vision? You're making 30K months. A lot of people would, I don't know, what would a lot of people do? Like, what's the vision for you?
Yeah, I mean, after you start doing this, you want to see how you can scale it, you know?
Yeah,
Like I told you before, I might start my sales agency. I don't know. We'll see.
yeah,
I'm not gonna be able to make that right now just because I got vacation planned. Oh, by the way, I'll see you in Dubai in
yeah.
January/February. But yeah, just keep crushing, rack up a lot of money, and then see what we can do in terms of scaling. Because of course, I can't keep doing closing my whole life, right? You gotta scale it up.
Yeah, you got to use the skills and branch off to like bigger impact or whatever your personal goals
Yeah.
are, like because one thing, and that's one thing I want to really like pass on to people who come into contact with me is that like sales is a good skill to have whatever you do, but you need to decide how to use it for your life, not to be run by sales. Because a lot of people get stuck in this wheel 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 15, 20 years just being a closer. And if that's what you want to do, fine, right? But if you really look back and ask yourself, what is the real goal you set out to achieve from day one? It's probably some sort of freedom. And the only way to do that is to use the skills, generate some cash, and see how you can use that as leverage, whether that's training other
Yeah.
people, managing teams, building different businesses. I mean, the skill is yours to keep, and it's only going to just, the more you do it, the more people you speak to, it's only going to get better, because the awareness just keeps growing. So,
No, the best skill set you can learn in life is sales. There's no doubt about that.
yeah, because you tried a lot of shit, I've seen, and
Yeah.
yeah, the position you're in right now, a lot of people fucking dream of like 80, 90% close rates, 30K months consistently. You'll most likely hit 40, 50. Psh,
Man,
I-
I this in September I could have done that if we had a more busy schedule. We had like a very slow start. So I
Yeah,
told my boss, look, if we had like a consistent lead
lead
flow for the
flow.
whole month, I would have made 40K easy. So
Yeah.
we'll see what we'll have.
Target for you
I'm
is
sure
40,
it's
mate. You can get because they'll sort the marketing will like, get more consistent, and
Mhm.
more payment plans come through. 40K is inevitable,
Oh,
bro.
by the way, you forgot to I was about to quit that offer because of the market. Like the market is trading basically the stock market. It keeps going up and down. It's not consistent. I was
Mm,
looking into other offers, but thank God I stayed because, it'll eventually pick
you'll
it
pan
back.
out.
Big,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah, for
yeah.
sure.
And as long as you're smart with your money as well and like you can weather these storms and yeah, like it pays off in the end. So like really well done, man. You've grown as a man, you're making your own decisions now. Yeah, you've changed a lot, mate. So yeah, it's amazing to see.
Cool. Nice.
So yeah, that's all, guys. Any last words, Sal, for anyone else watching?
This is not for the weak. If you're not ready to put in the work and sweat and endless call reviews, don't do it. But if you're willing to do that, it'll pay off.
Yeah, you'll smash it. Yeah. So yeah, that's it, guys. Sal's absolutely a beast. I mean, he's training teams now, even like he's really, really
Yeah,
crushing it, right? So, and that's only possible because he got the help, he stayed consistent, and he wanted it bad enough. And so, if that's you, you know what to do. Reach out. I'm here to help you.